What's good, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Hey, this is my first live stream on this channel, and honestly, I don't know what to expect, but today we're just gonna be talking about why I'm live streaming. I'm gonna take these glasses off. The lighting's pretty good, but anyway, we're gonna just be talking about Barca's current form. We lost to Sociedad, but we also beat Real Madrid. We also beat Bayern, and we're just gonna be talking about Barca. Why I like Barca, also what I can expect with this squad, what I can expect from Laporta in the next coming summer. He's got to sign some players, to be honest, in my opinion. But hey, guys, this is my first live stream. We're just going to get into it. Everybody has to start somewhere. Look at the big YouTubers, the big Barca YouTubers, Talk FCB, guys like, I know I follow some Instagram pages. Some of those guys like For Blaugrana, those guys, they started somewhere too. So I have to start somewhere too. And I just want to voice my opinion. Number one, the reason why is because I feel like I know ball, man. I know ball, and I feel like a lot of guys with big platforms, they don't know ball. So are they just pretending? Are they just doing it for the money? But I really feel like I know ball, so I can talk about Barca. I could talk about other teams, and I'm not really a person that's like shameless, that just jokes all the time. I know I can joke here and there, but that's not really me. I just like to analyze the game and just talk about Barca. And the lighting's kind of weird here, but anyway, so the first thing I want to say is like, why did I like Barca? I mean, Barca, first of all, they're always play like attractive brand of football, and not only that, they had Messi, they had Neymar. I started watching from the 13-14 season, like towards the end, and Neymar was really good. I could kind of tell he was gonna be a star. I didn't know he was gonna be that great, but Neymar is different, man. He's tough, man. And then there's also Messi, bro. Messi's like, he's a freak of nature. Like the way he dribbles, his agility. I don't think we're gonna see another Messi. I know that people compare Lamine Yamal to Messi, but in my opinion, I don't even think it's close. To be honest, I think that like Lamine, I know he's young and people they base a lot of things off potential, but potential doesn't really mean anything. It just means maybe you can get there, but most of the time it doesn't happen. Like people usually don't feel their potential. It's kind of sad to say, but it's the truth. And Lamine Yamal, in my opinion, I feel like he's more like a Di Maria, but with like more pace and power, which means he can have a better career than Di Maria. Di Maria had a great career. He scored a lot of goals. He had a bunch of assists. He's a playmaker. He's an entertainer too, with the Rabonas, with the Travella passes. Lamine Yamal has that. Messi doesn't really do the Travella. I've never seen Messi attempt a Rabona. I've never seen like Messi. He does step overs, but not as much. Like Lamine Yamal, he actually does skills. Like Messi's just very good 1-2 touch, efficient. He's unstoppable in a way, like the way he plays. But that's basically why I like Barca, because of the players and also the way that they're playing. I know Real Madrid, they have the trophies, but to be honest, it's entertainment, bro. At the end of the day, sports doesn't really matter like who's winning. I guess so. Barcelona, they're probably the best version of playing good football with the winning, because look at the trophy cabinet that they have. Other teams that play good football, like at the top of my head, it's like Arsenal. They don't really win. I remember Pochettino Spurs. They played some good football. They don't really win. Borussia Dortmund, not really. So Barcelona, you kind of get the best of both worlds in a way that you get to watch great football, and then you can also enjoy winning trophies, and it's kind of nice to see. And obviously, we need to win trophies. It's Barcelona. The amount of money that they put into these players, the revenue, and also the players, like, bro, we got a good squad. As much as I say that our squad needs to improve, like, we got a really good squad. We probably have easily a top 3, 4 squad in Europe, even though a lot of people, especially like Premier League fans, they probably don't know our players and their names. But it's whatever. Like, that doesn't really matter at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? And that's gonna move me to our next point. Uh, so far with Hansi Flick and the squad, their performances this year. And by the way, guys, this is gonna be a short live because, I mean, I'm actually at school. This is not my house, man. I don't have this nice, background on my house. But hey, I'm at school. I got class soon. But anyway, what do I expect from Hansi Flick and the squad? I expect. Um, I wanted 2 trophies at the start of the year. Damn, bro, this lighting. Shit, it's over here. I bet. I wanted 2 trophies at the start of the year. I wanted I mean, the Champions League was a reach, but I was thinking like Ancelotti's never repeated. We're getting a coach. Barcelona coaches, they usually do good in their first season. As much as people say a coach needs time to adjust his players to get his stuff down, I don't really believe in all that stuff because look at Barcelona, man. Like Ernesto Valverde, he won the league. He won the double, right? His first year. I know it wasn't pretty, but he still did it. Then we also have Luis Enrique. Enrique's best season in terms of winning was his first season. So those are two examples. Xavi in his first full season, he also won the league title. Even if you want to count the first like 2/3 where he came midway, Xavi still did really good. Like that's what I'm saying. Barcelona, they have a good history with like winning in their first season with coaches. So I'm like Hansi Flick, he's probably gonna do the same. I think we can win two trophies this year. I think maybe I was thinking one of the Super Cup or Copa del Rey. We haven't won the Copa del Rey in a while, and maybe it was going to be like the Copa del Rey in La Liga, and that's not a bad first season. I know we want to push on from there, but that was realistic, and that's what I thought could happen. And then also, like right now, what I'm expecting from the squad is probably a little bit more. Now I would like three trophies if possible. I know it's crazy, but look at how we're playing. I know Real Sociedad we lost, but guys, let's talk about the Madrid game because honestly, Hansi Flick, that was like legit a masterclass from a coach because in the second half, what does he do? Because Real Madrid, they're pressuring us, they're high pressing us. We can't get out, similar to the Real Sociedad game, but he had options off the bench versus Madrid in El Clasico. What do? We took, I forgot who we took off, but basically it was De Jong, and I think it wasn't Fermin. Pedri played the 10. De Jong came in, and I think it was De Jong and Casado. So De Jong and Casado, with that double pivot, he made Pedri push up, press Real Madrid. That's why we saw Lunin how many times just blast the ball up. And then Barcelona would win the second balls, and then we would just play from there. And I feel like that's smart. If we can't beat Real Madrid on the floor, we'll beat them through the air. We'll beat them with quick passing. Look at Casado, bro. And this is what I'm saying, that casuals, they don't really know our squad. And that's why I said our squad is a top three squad. But people just don't know about it. Like Man City, right now, if you're watching them, they lack a lot of game winners. Like outside of Erling Haaland, they lost Rodri. KDB, his legs are kind of gone. And then who else is there? Savio is good, but Savio, he's similar to Ousmane Dembele in a way that he's so good, but he just doesn't get goals. Somebody's got to score, and if it's not Erling Haaland, who is it for Manchester City? Gundogan, we sold him. His legs are kind of gone too for Manchester City. And then there's a lot of passengers on there too, like Mateus Nunes. Jack Grealish just doesn't always play. I mean, he should have stayed at Villa, the way that Pep is using him. And then I also think that their back line is kind of shaky. So fair play. Our back line, people call it shaky, but our offside trap, it works more times than not. We saw it in the El Clasico. Hansi Flick, that's what I'm saying. This high line is legit. It's not like Barcelona. We always played a high line. So what's the difference? This high line just feels more organized. It feels like it's more disciplined, more in sync. Inigo Martinez, Cabarsi, these guys, it looks like they have a real chemistry. And I'm interested to see how Ronald Araujo is going to come into this because he's probably our best center back. Let's be honest, when it came to peak, and also Ronald Araujo, he has the pace and power that you just can't buy, bro. Like, when somebody's clean through, none of our center backs are recovering besides Ronald Araujo. Like, let's be honest, when somebody's clean through. And then also there's, I guess Balde could do that because he has the pace. Jules Koundé kind of, but Alejandro Balde and Ronald Araujo, they're probably our fastest defenders, and that's why they need to play, bro, in this high line. Like that's what ideally you'd like to have Ronald Araujo and Balde on this team because of the high line. Like it makes sense. And then maybe I would put Inigo because I honestly thought Inigo has been one of our best players this year. People are not going to give him credit because he's older. He's not one of the youngsters to hype up. There's no reason to. But Inigo Martinez, man, he does his job. And then not only that, Inigo Martinez, I thought he was probably our best player against Real Sociedad. I think that he was one of the only guys who wasn't making mistakes. And he was actually passing forward, but we couldn't get anything from it. And guys, let's move on from the Clasico. Honestly, I thought we were really clinical. The front line, we were clinical. And Hansi Flick, I know that he's getting around like 90% of what the squad can do. I'm just leaving the 10% for when Ronaldo Araujo comes back and when we have a full squad. Like Eric Garcia, as much as we troll him, he has had a good season when he's playing. And then also guys like Christensen is going to be useful because Kabarsi. We don't want this kid to be playing with 10 stitches on his face. Like that's not ideal. As much as people say warrior and stuff, guys, that's not, I don't even think that's safe, bro. Like Kabarsi, he's heading balls out with 10 stitches on his face, bro. That's crazy, man. But anyway, let's talk about the Bayern game because the Bayern game, you know what's weird? I thought that we probably could have been down like 2-1 at halftime, but we were 3-1 up against Bayern. And it shows us two things. We're ruthless, like very clinical. Rafinha, especially on the day, man, Rafinha, he had his shooting boots, and it's just impressive. You know what I'm saying? Rafinha, from where he's come from, Leeds United. He was a really good Premier League winger, but at Barcelona, especially his first season, in his second season, he kind of like sloped up where he was kind of mid, but then he became a really good winger. But in his first season especially, he wasn't a good winger, man. I can't lie. It was so inconsistent. I remember he did have a lot of clutch moments. I know his assist against Valencia, 93rd minute to Lewandowski. He had, I think, a goal against, was it Athletic Club? Very clutch, the celebration, iconic, at San Mames. And then there's also, man, he had a couple moments, man. I can't lie. I remember, I think it was Osasuna and Cadiz where he got game winners. But guys, man, I don't really got time, bro. I'm going to be wrapping this up in like 10 minutes. It's going to be a short live. I'm just going to see what happens with this live. No viewers yet so far, but it's whatever. I got to start somewhere. But, hey, the Bayern game, honestly, I thought that we were just very clinical, number one. And the second reason why we won is that they weren't, it was kind of weird. They just weren't punishing us. I feel like that Vincent Company, he went away from what was working for him. And what was working for them was that switch to Elise's side. And then they would all get so many chances from there. I think they even scored their goal from there because it went to Elise's side. And then Elise, I think it came back to the left side. And there was a cross. Harry Kane scores. And I think Harry Kane, he ran the show in the first half. And it was so weird because his team was down 3-1. And maybe that guy, maybe he just has some bad luck. I don't know how he still hasn't won a trophy. It's crazy because I think he's played in like, somebody said he's like 0-81 in trophies, which is outrageous. I'm not going to lie if you really think about it. Because Lamine Yamal, he already has, technically he has a La Liga because he played one of the last games of the seasons against Betis, Lamine Yamal's debut. So, I mean, we're not really going to count that, but still technically he has a La Liga on the, if you check Wikipedia, if you check Transfer Market, I'm pretty sure he has it. And then he also has the Euros, man. Like the Euros, he was one of the best players, man. And let's talk about the other games. I feel like that Valladolid, that was outrageous. 7-0. I haven't seen a score 7. Xavi never scored 7. I don't think Koeman did. Who was before Koeman? Was it Kike Setien? I got no idea, bro. I don't think we've scored 7 probably since... I don't think we scored 7 in the Valverde era either, man. I think 7 was probably Enrique, man. It was probably an Enrique game. I remember Enrique, we scored 6. Well, we won Celta Vigo 6-1. That was one of the most entertaining games I've ever watched as a football fan. Neymar, it was party football on display. In the Enrique era, what was the sad part? We still underperformed, man. Like, as much as I hate to say it, like MSN, we won that Champions League 14-15. 15-16, we were really good. Suarez's best season ever in his career, in my opinion. Messi was still good. Neymar was good, but we just lost to Atletico on the day. And that's why the Champions League, that's why it's kind of impressive that Real Madrid have won so much, because the Champions League, one bad day and you're out. That's why I don't know if we can win the Champions League this year. I hope we can, but man, one slip up and that's it. Liverpool, I think 2019, we were one of the best teams. I think we were the best team in Europe. But we just didn't prove that at Anfield on the day. We slipped up 4-0. Like, we could have had, I don't know why, to be honest. Ernesto Valverde's type of football, in a way, it's already kind of pragmatic. And some people call it boring because it was just a 4-4-2. People don't really like the idea of a 4-4-2 today. I know that teams like Villa, like Aston Villa, they still play it. Arsenal at times. But the 4-4-2 that Ernesto Valverde, that he used, It was kind of, yeah, in a way boring because it was given to Messi, defensive stability, but hey, we won the league off of it. I was thinking, how come he didn't play a little bit more pragmatic in that one game just to get to a final? We were already 3-0 up. Why not just play a bit more pragmatic? And then, you know what I mean? Play a bit more pragmatic. You're in the final. You're against Tottenham Hotspurs. Bro, what's their history? Man, Tottenham's history is pretty bad in finals. They don't win, let's be honest. So I think you would have won the final. I think honestly, whoever got to that final was gonna win. Barcelona or Liverpool, and we seen Liverpool. Even Liverpool didn't play good in the final, and they still won. But that's how it was, man. But hey, I haven't seen Barcelona score seven probably since Enrique, and I'm just guessing, bro. I'm guessing that we scored seven again in the Enrique era. And then not only that, I would say that this Barcelona squad, we have a lot of quote unquote casuals like Casado, but Casado is actually really good for anybody who's watching. And then we have guys like Fermin Lopez. I think that actually people, Barca fans, they don't realize yet, but I think Casado might be better than Fermin. I think that he is actually because Casado's consistency, Fermin doesn't really have that consistency. He is a guy who you ideally would like to have off the bench, and the reason would be because that he can score a goal. Fermin Lopez, we saw it in the Olympics. He can score a goal. So Fermin's like the perfect ideal sub for any type of game because even in a low block type of game, when the game eventually gets opened up late on, Fermin can score. Or in the UCL, when a lot of teams are gonna play, like they want to play. You know, these guys they're the leaders of their domestic leagues, like young boys. They're the Barcelona of their league. Dynamo, Zagreb, all these teams. They're the Barcelona, Real Madrid of their leagues. So when they come to play Barcelona, they're probably going to play the same way, and it's hard for them to adjust, you know? So when they come out to play, Fermin Lopez, he can definitely score some bangers against them. And I just don't know about Fermin, man. I'm just conflicted because I feel like that he is such a good player, but I don't know if he's the top elite player. I mean, I could see him leaving in like 3 years. I hate to say it, but I don't know, man. We're gonna try to build a super team like Laporta. You're already seeing like even when Laporta got elected that by 2025, 2026, that was the time that he wanted to establish a super team, a very very strong roster, and in a way, we're on the way to start doing it because we have a really good squad. Like let's say we buy a goalkeeper. And then let's say Erling Haaland or Gyökeres come. We just need a left winger, a striker. I would say one more midfielder. Just pack it. Maybe a destroyer type like Casemiro. Not Casemiro, but a Casemiro type that can be a destroyer but also ball play and is technical in a way. And then I would probably say one more center back. I would get the fullbacks. People doesn't like Gerard Martin. I would just say get Alex Valle. I think it's Alex Valle who's on loan at Celtic. I'll just get him back because he's showing some signs. He was good in the preseason offensively. I know defensively he had that bad game against Leao. But bro, who cares, bro? Like we're Barcelona, we're gonna be in the front foot, and he was showing some real promising signs offensively. So honestly, I don't really care. Like I would take Alex Valle back. I think Fort was decent. I think Koundé as a starter, Alejandro Balde as a starter. Even look at Barca Athletic. Let's do what we did this year. Let's do it next year. Let's take Barca Athletic's best player, maybe like their best three players, use them in preseason, and let's see if they can, compete physically and also technically. Let's see, because like Pau Victor, he was amazing in the preseason, man. And I honestly want to see more minutes for him too, because honestly, I think that he can be as good as like Ferran or even better because he has more footballing ability. He has a better eye for pass. He has that cheeky nutmeg in him. But Ferran Torres, he's just the experienced head, and I feel like that Pau Victor, if you gave him probably 5 games to start, obviously that won't happen. Like guys, it just won't happen. He's Pau Victor. No disrespect, but he hasn't proven too much at Barcelona at the top level. But I would like to see him more because I think that he's a good player, man. I need to see it, man. Ansu Fati, I think we need to sell, bro, because Ansu, it's not working out. Maybe he becomes somewhere else. Ferran Torres, you already know my opinions, no comment. Who else is there? Vitor Roque, I think that it was a 2 year loan clause. I think that keep him for the second year. I think he scored 5 goals for Betis already. If he can reach 12, 13, that's not too bad. And then next year, maybe reach like 17. That's not too bad. Then we're looking at what should we do? Should we keep him in preseason in 2026? Maybe sell him. Who knows Vitor Roque's future? But I don't know why we signed him if we didn't have an exact plan for him. But it doesn't make sense, honestly. But that was probably a miss from Deco. But Deco, he's got to get this transfer window right. And I would say go for Liao if he's an ideal price, or I would like Kvaratskhelia. I would like Adamola Lookman, because I'm an African too, bro. Lookman's balling, bro, in the AFCON, Serie A. He's one of the best players in the world. I don't know why he doesn't get the PR hype, as many other players. Like Liao is, you'd assume is the better player, but Lookman and Liao, man, it's neck and neck, to be honest. I would get a top left winger, and I would get a striker number one, and then probably center back, and then maybe loan in a midfielder. That's probably what I would do. Ideally, Mikel Merino was the guy because we needed a guy who can win duels, be a destroyer, but in a way, we don't have a left-footed midfielder, so it would be nice to have a left-footed midfielder who's a destroyer and can also pass a bit, which Mikel Merino can do. And that just kind of sucks that he went to Arsenal because he would have been free this summer. And Mikel Merino on a free would literally, bro, that would complete the squad, bro. What am I saying, man? But guys, I'm gonna wrap up in a couple minutes. I don't know. I just wanted to get this out. I just wanted to talk. What else is there to say? Barcelona, we lost against Real Sociedad. I thought that Sociedad. Oh shoot, the lighting's going weird, bro. 1 second. Bro, I thought that Sociedad, honestly, I think that they deserved it. I feel like that they had the better chances. We couldn't play through their high press. And the difference between Madrid and Sociedad's high press when it was difficult to play, it was just that Sociedad's attackers, they just buy into defending. Vini Jr. and Mbappe, they're not going to buy into defending the whole time. And it sucks because we lost again against Osasuna and Sociedad. 2 games that Lamine Yamal doesn't start in, and we drop points. Actually, we don't even get the draw. We just lose outright. And that kind of sucks, to be honest, because Real Madrid, we just gave them, we extended the gap, and now they just closed it up because they won against Osasuna. Because Osasuna, what did they do against Real Madrid? They just literally did nothing, man. Like 4-0 they wasn't even competitive, man. Vinny Jr. hat trick. Vinny Jr., man. That guy, man. He's tough, bro. Like, good thing he didn't perform in the El Clasico, but he's a tough player, man. And then Rafinha, I don't know. Against Sociedad, Rafinha was trying to do stuff, but he couldn't do it. Also, Lewandowski's touch. Bro, sometimes we don't talk about this enough, man, as Barcelona fans. We only talk about the goals. Cool, he has so many goals. But, bro, Lewandowski, his touch, when it's off, it's tough to play. Like, it really is. That's why I'm saying I think that a Gyökeres or Holland, as much as Lewandowski has more goals than them this year, I think they would definitely improve us. Even Gyökeres, I know people say Portuguese league, but to be honest, the way I'm seeing him move, I don't think it matters. The way he's playing, now you can just tell this guy's at least scoring 30 at Barca, like at least, man. He's super fast. Like, I searched up on Google his top speed too, and it's at 41, I think, kilometers per hour. And I'm like, there's no way, bro. There's no way this dude is this fast, bro. Because, like, some top players, I think that has to be fake, man. Like, for real. That's crazy if Gyökeres is that fast. But, hey, you know, I'm about to conclude, guys. Barcelona, we play Celta Vigo after the break. By the way, it's good that Lamine Yamal is he's not playing, but I hope it's precaution. I really hope so because I want to see him against teams like Brest and the UCL because they're playing really good. And then also Celta Vigo away at Bolidos, which is actually going to be our next game. Lamine Yamal, his impact for us, it goes like under the radar, like legitimately under the radar. I don't know why people don't talk about it. Not only does he create chances, he's a dribbling threat. They need to double team him, so that leaves more spaces. And then also, people don't even talk about his positional discipline. He stays out wide. Like, okay, this is my right side. He stays out wide, like touchline wide. And that makes the field so much bigger when he's a dribbling threat. You know what I mean? He's like, that really helps because if you remember the Sociedad game, everything was so tight. We were playing Fermin on the wing. Doesn't make sense. I don't want Fermin on the wing, especially the right wing. I would like him on the left, maybe inverted. But I just don't like seeing Fermin on the wing that much. But hey, man, Lamine, that boy is a star boy, man. He's got everything ahead of him if he's trying to become the best. And honestly, he can be in this generation where there's no Neymar, there's no Messi, there's no Cristiano. There's not even players like, Iron Robin who's ripping it up. Also, guys like, I don't know, Eden Hazard, he was tough. Mo Salah's aging out. So it's just him and Vinny, Holland. Mbappe is getting a little bit, this La Liga, Mbappe is not adjusting so nicely. So I think it might be between Holland. But we know Holland's not a complete player. Like, let's be honest, he's an elite finisher, not a complete player. And then Vinny Jr. Vinny Jr. is tough. I can't lie. But I think that Yamal definitely has that IQ over him. And I think Lamine Yamal, he's got everything ahead of him if he just works on his game, if he becomes a little bit quicker, a little bit faster, and just vision. Check the film when you miss passes. Practice your shooting. I think if he gets goals, it's undeniable who's the best player in the world. But guys, that's it from me today. Hopefully we beat Celta Vigo. Celta Vigo, we're going to see Mingueza. Celta Vigo at Bolidos. It's not easy. I think Madrid, didn't they drew there? I'm not sure. But Bolidos is going to be tough for sure. Celta Vigo, they're playing some decent football. They concede, but they score. So maybe it's going to be like a 5-2 game, like against Red Star. I could see